Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Enough channel. In this video we're looking at the Bulldog Project after round 15 of the 2023 NRL season. And so I guess the Bulldog Project team, we scored 1,266 points this week, which actually got us up overall in the season rank, which is quite nice. We weren't expecting that, given some of the high scores going around, and I guess also given the performance against the Parramatta Eels. So the King's birthday game, went in with high hopes, but it was a bit disappointing. Ended up having a nap during the second half. Did have quite a big weekend, so I definitely needed some shut eye, but apparently didn't miss much during that time. So if you have a look how the team went, as I've got a hair in my mouth, hang on. Yeah, no, still there. Lovely, there we go, got rid of it. So Harry Grant, 123, that's fantastic for us. Bouncing back after the post-origin slump after game one. Reed Marnie with a 50. So, yeah, he sort of does rely a bit on attacking stats to boost his score, but he plays big minutes, so he's always going to get there or thereabouts. Tino and Big Payne Haas up front, 93 and 95 respectively. That's why they're set and forget up the front. Harry Edwards with the 35, so probably a bit more of a ball playing lock type role for him this week. We do want him to run the ball a bit more, but he's still looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Fainu with the 33, so I guess thought he would probably get more minutes. How many did he get? I don't know. Can I see on here? It's only 50 minutes. So, I mean, he mightn't be the best sort of cheapy option that we hope for, but I think we're going to keep him. Obviously, the reason we brought him in is we know he's likely to line up for dual position, which obviously then gives us some options to swing around and that sort of thing. Nikora with a 55, that's a solid base for him, so that's fine. Jacob Preston with the 90, he was probably one of our best players. He looked very threatening on the edge. I guess just Parramatta's scramble was quite good when he was making those half breaks. Max King with 31, so coming off the bench, I'm not quite sure what the thinking was there, but has sort of ruined the pick for us there. Don't want to get rid of him because he's a good player and this is the Bulldog Project, but might have to look at some options. Big day for Feeder, obviously had the week off to get the concussion sorted. I'll get to that later. Phone going off. Schuster with a 37, so didn't see the man in the game at all, but you'd think in a scoreline as dominant as theirs, he would have got a bit more, but again, I didn't see it to really find out what happened. Curtis Moran with a 28, so a bit of a slow burn there for us on the bench. Could potentially try to upgrade him with the bank we've got, but we'll see. Nico Hines, so our captain this week, a bit disappointing in terms of that, but the positive for us is that he should be available for us this week with missing out on Origin. So him and Burton, pretty dominant combination in our halves, which is pretty nice. Birdo with a 91. So again, the few good things that the Bulldogs did, he was in amongst. Scored that first try, obviously. So ever since he's gone to the 7, I think his scoring is averaging about 80 or something ridiculous. I haven't done the numbers. I'm just plucking that out of the thin air, to be honest. But it's definitely improved on where he was earlier in the season. Joey Manu with a 51. So, the Roosters weren't fantastic on the weekend. So to get a 50 out of your 5'8", we'll take that. Oluwapu, so I guess that epic run that led to Matt Burton's try, 5 tackle breaks, a line break assist, a try assist. That's why the kid got brought into the club. He's capable of this sort of stuff. Can't expect it every week, but I mean, as a cheap option, We're happy whenever he gets those spike games. Nickel Clock started with 84, so big work rate is finally leading to some big scores. We'd love to see it. Connolly Lemorelli with a 42, so a bit flat again. Didn't really see that game, so don't know what to write or to think about it. The Hammer with the 67, so I must have got a try or something, but yeah, glad to have him back in the scoring. Kiraz with a 52, so again, just his workhorse best. Paul Alamotti with the 60, so, had some nice touches, maybe had some defensive issues, but again, I think, he's a good enough player, he'll be okay. And then Buller with a 95, obviously should have taken the BC option this week, but he just keeps churning out points for us. And Tommy Turbo with a 126, absolute gun. Um, yeah, nothing more to say there about that. So in terms of this week, we're pretty well sorted. This was always going to be the advantage of the Bulldog Project side, is that round 16 and round 19 we're going to be quite good. Unfortunately, round 17 is going to be pretty tragic for us, but we'll deal with that when we get to it, I think. So we've actually got. Oh, actually, we don't have Harry Grant, do we? So no Grant, no Tino, no Haas, no Fafita. Yes to Burton. Yes to Manu and Oluwapu. Oh, so we have to start making decisions. So Alamotti. We don't have Skelton, do we? We don't have Burbo. Don't know if he'll get up this week. We don't have Tommy Turbo anyway. So we'll throw it on Oluwapu. So, I mean, what have we got? Pretty much got a full side, full 17 except for these two guys. We've got 15 without making any trades, which, that's probably what we should do. But then we keep looking at this 600k. Surely we can do something with this. So I guess who are the targets? And especially, I guess if we look forward to next week, we won't have these guys, those 5 or 6 here. So we'll hopefully everyone backs up, but we'll have Grant, Fine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 7, no, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 if everyone backs up. So I guess, that's the trade off. You'd really prefer it the other way around. But hey, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? So, in terms of the trades this week, I mean, Skelton's dead, rookie. So, who are our options? Could go all the way up to Ruben Garrick, but that seems like a bit of a waste of cash. Who went massive this week? Who might chase some break even? No one really exciting there, eh? Coates would have been okay, except he's playing Origin. Brian Tyler is playing Origin. Yeah, there's no one really jumps out, I suppose. Marzu would be nice to have, but he's peaked in price. Tafare, he's on the buy this week. Yeah, nothing overly fantastic there. I think we can not stress about that. What about Moran? What does he? What are the upgrade options here? Scotty Sorensen turning up again. That's interesting. Still leaking 32k. There's a Bryce Cartwright. Could be a nice one to have. John Bateman. played lock. There you go. That's pretty handy. Maybe we could go or Jermaine Hopgood as well. Because I guess round 17 is an issue with John Bayman. But I could get on Hopgood. But if we're going to go on Eel, I'd probably just go Cartwright for the savings. Nothing else really stands out there. Tavita, I guess we could just go with the pod pick again. Doesn't help us next round, but neither does Moran. Let's be honest. Yeah. I don't know, I just feel like we should invest the money somewhere. Just don't know where. Or do we hang on for next week and we can do a few little DPP swings and bring in Sean Johnson? What's he on? 705. So we still have a bit of money out of that, which would be okay. So it's one of those things, you've got all the money, but where do you spend it? So, yeah, no point doing that this week. I think Myron will get another game for the Dogs if we do go that way. But, I mean, if we look at the side, we've got two decent hookers. We've got the two big boys in the front row. Three nice options there, I guess. And then Schuster and King we can try and upgrade. I think it might be a one up, one down sort of deal. When do we start doing stuff like that? Get out of the likes of King and these middling Bulldogs picks and upgrade to guns maybe. Nah, can't do it. Can't do it to the boys. I love too many of them. Yeah, so I guess going back to what we were just talking about, so the two front rowers before I got sidetracked, three second rowers, two gun halves. Probably a bit lucky in 5'8", but Burton will slide back here very shortly. Could be as soon as next week. Could be Manu to Sean Johnson, if we're being honest. Next week. Got, I guess, with Kiraz and the three on the bench, we've got four decent centre wings. Obviously not the top four options, but we can live with them. And then Buller and Trebojevic, two guns at fullback position. So that's one. Yeah, so we've probably only really got 15 sort of gun players, I suppose, if you count the two hookers and the two fullbacks. But there's a bit of money that we can invest. But yeah, so maybe what if we out of them get into say a Hopgood and a Rice Cartwright? We've still got some cash left over. Could be enough to turn Skelton into someone. But I don't know. We'll have to obviously wait for the teams to drop in about an hour from the time of recording. Probably by the time this is up, the teams will already be named. So you'll have a better idea than I do at the moment as to if there's any cheap options. But we'll also do some research leading into the stock market video for this week. As to what we do here. But there is that option of using that extra trade. So I'm not 100% convinced to pull the trigger on this. Well, if we do, then let's just do it because we can. And then look forward to next week. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it has obviously improved by 2. How many trades do we get next week? 2. So we could, in theory, get 16 for next week, which wouldn't be the worst case scenario. Yeah, again, it's just who we want to get out of this week. But again, team list might dictate that as well. Say, for example, Alamotti gets a bit of a breather and back to reserve grade to sharpen up or whatever. Defensively, that could be a trade. Could we trade the hammer to someone? Maybe. How much money would we have then? 600. Guess the big guns like Garrick's gone. That would be a nice one to have. Um, Actually, I've got an idea. Can we? I think we can. Kalen Ponga. So I guess in my main sort of round review, I did talk about Kalen Ponga and Matt Burton probably being a couple of nice pod options at 5'8". So I mean that just frees it up. So just swap them. So yeah, and that gives us an extra number for next week. So that's what now. I lost count. 15. We can do 2 trades to get to 17. So this this could actually work. So yeah. All right. So yeah. So I guess that's the way the team's shaping up. I did forget about captain, vice captain this week. Um, as much as it hurts me to say, I think you got to go with Hines. That's where the smart money is this week. And I do like Kalen Ponga as a vice captain, but also, I think the pod option could be Jerome Buller. So obviously against the Storm, the Tigers don't have a great record, but in saying that, the Tigers are probably in the best sort of form they've been in for a while, and the Storm will be missing, a lot of their Origin players, all of their Origin players. So no Munster, no Grant, no Coates. Not that he's the biggest, but he is a nice target out on the wing for them. Um, Christian Welsh, I don't think made the squad, so he'll be there. But yeah, I actually think there could be a little upset there. I might even throw that in my footy tips because they've been absolutely rubbish so far this year. So I might go with Buller as the VC option on Saturday night. And, I mean, I've got Skelton sitting there. He could easily become the captain if he's not named as the get out option. Or you've always got these bench guys that can swing in and be subbed out, I suppose. Um, yeah. So we'll wrap it up there anyway. So as always, if you've got any thoughts on the team, feel free to throw us a comment. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. And then other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.